2, 3. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Nama Budaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Okay. So on today's special occasion, we will have a talk show, an insightful talk show with our special guest today. Please give big round of applause. Wow. First of all, on the behalf of everyone, we are very excited and happy to have you guys here. Especially, we're all just being so dying to have a proper conversation with a native speaker. So finally we have it now. Thank you for joining us today. So before we continue, we get straight to the talk show. Let us, the students from 60 Senior Public School of Jakarta, to introduce ourselves first. Start from me. Hello. As you know, I'm the host for today's talk show, and my name is Jessica, and I'm from 12 IPS 2. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Okay.
I am Kay Nandistia Melanie from 12 Science 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Putra Tatan and I'm from 12 Science 1.
Wow.
Okay, my name is Dimas Rana Ramadan. I am from Social 3.
My name is Belmiro and I'm from 12 Social 1.
And my name is Toefl. I'm from Social 2.
Okay, thank you guys for the introduction. So before we get straight to the talk show, is it all right for you guys to introduce yourself first so that all of us and even the YouTube viewers can get to know you guys better?
Sure.
Maybe you, sir?
Sure, I'll go first. Firstly, I want to thank all of you for inviting me here today.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Daniel. I'm from Scotland. I'm an English teacher in Ruang Guru English Academy. And this is my coworker, my colleague.
Hey!
Hello, very pretty.
Hello. Thank you so much, Daniel. So I'm Gaya. I've been teaching English for 4 years, and then I'm from 12 Science at 12 Science too. I'm from English.
Well, we're glad if you're here though.
I'm from English Academy. It's really nice to meet you guys.
Okay, thank you. Please give one more time applause. So before we start, can you guys give a little bit of explanation? So what is English Academy?
Well, English Academy is actually the English course from Ruang Guru. I think most of you know Ruang
Of
Guru.
course, we all had that one page when we subscribe to Ruang Guru.
Good. Yeah, so English Academy is a English course from the Ruang Guru, so we focus on English, but it's not only like general English. We also have some classes such as like the Toefl class or maybe the adult class and etc.
Oh, so how do we sign up for it?
Well, it's super duper easy. All you have to do is only to go to our website. Just Google English Academy. There will be our website there, and then after it, click on that, and then there will be like a register form where you have to give us the email, the number, and then our sales team will contact you later.
Okay, thank you, Gajio, for the explanation. So let's just get straight for our main topic today. Today we will be covering about Toefl. This is a very interesting and an important topic because all of us, especially as senior students, we need Toefl, right, to get into the university that we want. So can you, maybe Mr. Daniel, can you give explanation?
Well, I'll kick it off by saying, me as a native, I don't have much experience teaching or doing the examination of Toefl. If you go to an international school, if you take higher level English, like for example English Lit, English Literature, you're automatically given to you guys speak very good English, right? It's a given, yeah, exactly. So I don't have much experience doing TOEFL. I've never done TOEFL, never done IELTS. So I'm gonna pass that question on to you guys. So you've taken the TOEFL, right?
Yes, I've taken TOEFL, like both of them, the IBT one or maybe the.
Oh, there are types of TOEFL.
Yes, there are two types of TOEFL. Well, we have the IBT and also the ITP. Well, I don't know.
Before you start, though, be honest. Was it difficult? Was it hard?
Yes.
Oh, if it's hard for you, it's going to be nightmare for us.
What about us? That's why you have to prepare yourself. Maybe you can register yourself in this academy, right? Yeah, so I could say that it's kind of hard because, you know, like English is not our first language, right? It's our second language. And then then I mean, like, speaking in English is quite hard, and we have to, you know, like, take a task, and the task is not only like translating the English to Bahasa, but you have to also understand the context of the text, or maybe of the audio that they've shared to us. So yes, kind of hard, but in Indonesia, Toefl is kind of famous. It's not kind of, but I think that's the most famous task in Indonesia.
We all know Toefl.
Like, we also some of the institutions, especially like, you know, if you want to be a pen essay, then you have to take the Toefl test.
Oh, so that's it. That's how much of the importance of Toefl test.
And be honest, guys, do you generally find listening exercises harder or reading exercises?
Definitely listening. But it's fine.
Listening is fine.
For me, it's reading.
Reading.
Okay.
Reading one is, yeah.
Depends on the question.
As long as
I see.
That's the problem.
prefer the blank kind of Southern Californian accent. Right?
You know, the American accent.
Please.
Easy to understand. Yeah.
So, is there any of you guys that would like to ask a question?
You mentioned there were two types of the Toefl test. Do you know like what are the difference between the two?
Oh yeah, of course. So there are two types of TOEFLs, like as I've mentioned before. So we have IBT and also the ITP. For the IBT, I could say that's harder than the ITP one, because for the ITP one there are only like 3 sections, like the reading, the listening, and also the the speaking, as I remember. That's it. But for the IBT one, then not the speaking, the structure. So we have like reading, structure, and also the listening. But for the IBT one, we have writing, and we also have speaking.
So it's more to practice.
Yes, it is. It's more practical.
If I'm not mistaken, one of them is for getting into university, right? And the other is more for measuring how much you've improved, and if you want to continue into like harder courses that are in English, right? So it's like one's to measure if you can get into university, and one is to measure how well you've improved while you're in university.
Oh, that's it.
So they both serve different functions.
Yes, they both have different functions.
But in Indonesia, well, actually, we use both of them. But since, you know, like most Indonesian, I mean, like the English subject in Indonesia focus on, you know, like reading.
We're really focusing on speaking.
Structure. We're not really focused on speaking and also listening. So most of Indonesian only take the ITP one because, as I said before, it's easier and it's also acceptable if you want to use that certification for like Japanese, or maybe nggak usah Japanese deh, kejauhan. So if you want to enroll to a university, it can be acceptable as well.
So can you tell me about the score, like the minimum and the maximum?
Okay, yeah. So for the score, it is so it's kind of different. For the IBT one, it's around 0, of course. 0, 0, of course, to 120. 120. That's it. So the maximum is 120. So if someone say that I have already taken the IBT test and I've got, let's say, 500, then you're lying.
Yeah, because doesn't reach that high.
Then you're lying. But for the ITP one, that's the easier one. They have a different one. So the scoring start from, of course, 0, but of course we won't take it. So the standard is like from 310 to 677.
Oh,
600.
Is that the maximum score?
Yep.
Is it possible for us to have maximum score? I mean, if you take that TOEFL test, would you get the maximum score?
It's difficult. You'd have to definitely practice. Even native speakers who speak English as their first language would find it difficult to shoot for a 677.
really?
Why?
It's like a low.
It's pretty similar to us.
It's like you, like if you did like a proper Bahasa Indonesia exam, could you score a perfect score?
No.
There's going to be trials and tribulations, right?
That's our Indonesian teacher there. No, we will never get 100.
Well, exactly, but it doesn't mean you can't shoot for the stars. and
Yeah.
try, right?
Just use it as motivation.
Exactly.
So as long as we learn it for bridge intercommunication, so we can just use the language.
Exactly.
So is there any more questions?
I'm kind of curious. You know, where English is not our first language, you know, and
Really? You guys sound very fluent.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously,
I'm on cloud nine.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
we does have problems with other accents, you know, and then I'm kind of curious. What about you, a native speaker?
Accents. Well, that's the thing. Say you take an American, put them in the UK with a very severe Cockney accent, right? They might find it very difficult to understand each other even. But I think generally, right, an American blank accent is the easiest to understand. But you are right. Say you put an American into the UK or into Australia, right, where the accents get pretty thick, you'll also have a hard time.
That's a knife.
It goes deeper than that. It's not just an accent. It's also like slang, right? That's right.
Slang matters more than
Absolutely, because it can change the entire sentence, even, right? If you don't know what the word is, like put in the Barbie. Like, what is Barbie? A Barbie in the UK means it's a doll.
Yeah.
In Australia, it's a barbecue, right? It's,
I heard in Australia they call children ankle biters.
right. That's just how it is. So they still speak the same language, but obviously it's personalized to that country, right?
Yeah, true. So I'd like to ask a question about the speaking. So speaking in tests, in the English test like IELTS, we also have speaking, right? And I am dying to improve my score. Is it necessary for you to have an accent? I mean, to have like an accent like native speaker or not? It's the same like in Toefl? Do you need an accent to have the score that you want?
I don't think so because, well, I don't know. Maybe some of Indonesian think that British accent is the coolest, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually,
Very.
yeah, very.
It sounds classy.
Yeah, it sounds classy. It
It's
is.
posh. But I wouldn't say you need to have an accent. But I would say you need to be understood. So if your accent is thick, Indonesian accent, perhaps you're pronouncing your R's too heavy, all right? It could affect your score if what you're saying is not that comprehensible, right? So I feel like if you're trying to speak English and you'll be more fluent, it's good to try to pick up, say, a blank American, Southern Californian accent. I don't think you also want to fake a British accent because it could come across fake.
It's way too fake. Impossible to fake.
And it can, if you don't do it well, it comes off as fake.
Oh, yeah. So is there any question, guys?
So Indonesian people tend to learn English from watching Western series or movies. Do you think for native speaker is it really easier for people or is it easier for more
Well, first I
reading?
want to say that Indonesia is very westernized, you know?
Really?
Yeah. You guys consume Western media like crazy.
All the time.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, and I've met so many students who've learned English just by playing video games, watching YouTube videos. The famous Indonesian rapper Rich Brian, right? He learned by watching YouTube videos, and that just goes to show if there's a will, there's a way. You could pay for the most expensive courses, but if you have no niyat, if you have no enthusiasm to learn, right? You're not going to learn much. It all comes down to a very famous saying. It's like you can take a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink, right? So if you really want to learn, you'll find any opportunity to learn. And if you don't want to learn, you'll find any opportunity to not learn, even if you have the best teacher or whatever.
First of all, we have to build up our intention to gain down.
And quick question, you guys talked about accents. In your opinion, what's the hardest accent to understand?
Australia.
Australian accent is
I would say Irish.
Irish, Australian,
Australian accent.
a Scottish accent, yeah, it can be very thick. It can be very thick.
Australian.
Can you actually do a Scottish accent?
I can. It's fake though. It's like you may take our lives, but you'll never take our freedom. But it's fake. So like when I do it, it's fake because I was in international schools my entire life. Lived abroad my entire life. I was only born in Scotland.
Are your
When I was-
parents okay with that?
My dad, his accent's pretty much faded. You know, he speaks pretty similar to me, with more like British, but not really Scottish, right? More like posh English. So I feel like when it comes to accents, it's kind of just the product of your environment, right? You get people who are Indonesians who live in Australia who have an Australian accent, and you get people who are Scottish who've lived in America with American accents. It's
Yeah.
really just a product of your environment.
So,
I see.
And the reason why you guys probably have more American accent is because you guys consume more American media, right?
It is.
100%. You want to ask a question, Belmiro?
No, it was Dimas.
Oh, Dimas.
Are you familiar with Scottish culture at all?
Absolutely, of course. It doesn't change the fact that I'm still Scottish, right? I have an American accent, but I'm
Still Scottish
so
by blood, yeah.
yes.
I'm
So
quite interested in Scotland. What is it called? Culture. That they have. What is it called?
bagpipes.
Yeah,
Bagpipes.
Bagpipes. How do you use it?
Can
Well,
you
I've
use
never
it?
played the bagpipes.
really
Well,
interested to
it's about I don't know, it's like squeezing in some air and it goes into the
armpit.
pipes. Yeah, you squeeze into it, but I've never even held a bagpipe before in my life, so I am hardly an expert in that field.
Oh, yes.
Right?
It's like,
But it is a very famous instrument. Yeah, we even play it to battle. Yeah.
it's like symbolized. This is Scotland. We're going to use the bagpipe one.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't talked about our skirts.
Oh,
It's kilts. It's called kilts. Yeah. It's not a skirt. It's a skirt. Yeah.
The
And
green one. The green.
The color-
it's colorful. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's green, but it's multiple colors.
Multiple colors.
Yeah. So it's a proper material. I forgot
have
what it's
you
called,
ever
though.
worn it before?
Yes, I have. We wear it to weddings. Yeah. We wear like a blazer suit and then a kilt.
Was it like a pleasant experience?
It's comfortable.
Oh,
Yeah.
Skirts were made for men.
Is it scary down there?
It's you get it's very good ventilation.
Oh,
So much air.
What an information.
It's like in Indonesia. It's like sarung, eh?
Sarung, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Exactly.
but you don't go to wedding using sarong.
Well, yeah.
We could.
Yeah.
We could, but we don't.
You'll embarrass yourself.
We could, but we
Japanese
don't.
weddings that some men could wear the common
Yukata,
for-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
similar to skirt for men.
So, is there any more information that you would like to share regarding Toefl that we need to know?
that you need to know. Well, since you are now on 12, right?
Yeah, senior.
The senior. Oh my God, the senior one.
Only a couple of months, we'll graduate.
Yes, it is.
Times.
So I think you have to prepare yourself for the, for the university, and
Find out the
then
minimum requirements and what scores you have to achieve to take the grade, the
It
major
is.
you want to major in.
yep.
It comes down to prep and research, right?
Yes, it is.
What else?
And then, yeah, as I said before, since you also need to find out some requirement that your university might ask, I think it will be really good for you if you could prepare yourself for those requirement. And as we know that one of those requirement is the Toefl one, right? Well, learning English is not that easy. You cannot just read the whole material and then after it, then you could do the Toefl that good now. But you have to practice.
Takes time.
So the kids practice.
You have a
Well, practice makes perfect in everything, right?
It is.
But I would say you guys are the lucky ones. You already built on a foundation. You built on your foundation probably at a younger age, and now you set yourself up to succeed in
Amen.
TOEFL.
Amen.
But let's be real, speaking English isn't just beneficial in a TOEFL perspective. There's so much more other kind of benefits of being good at English. What do you guys think is some other benefits, since you guys are fluent?
And then,
Yep.
What benefits
Teachers
have you
love
found?
us.
Okay, teachers love
Mr.
you. What
Saiful
else?
loves me.
Man.
Second one is that we can be proud. Oh man.
Oh,
we have a skill. We have a
I
skill.
can speak English. Can you?
So it's a flex. Yeah, it's a flex.
It's a big flex.
High confidence. It's a flex.
In the work field, it's also very important.
It's very important. Yeah.
for international relations and stuff.
True.
Opens up so many opportunities.
Yeah, and then
It is.
we can connect to more people.
True.
You can even make money.
Ah,
With
yes.
your skill.
True.
Which one?
Let's let's be honest, guys. By the time you start working, what will it be like 2026?
Yeah,
You'll start
right.
joining the working industry. If you guys want to start working for management, you want to start working for big companies. It's not Indonesia 1980s, right? They're going to require you to be able to be bilingual, not as in like speak Indonesian and Japanese, right? But bilingual as in speak Indo, speak English, and it will open up a lot of doors, whether it's locally in Indonesia or whether you go abroad.
Yeah. Do you have like any tips for each section of the Toefl? Tips and tricks so that we can have the perfect aim score that we want?
Sure. So for, maybe let's just focus on the IBT one because that's the hard one, yeah. That's the hard one. So for the reading section, I know that it's boring for us like to read the whole passage, right? And we have a time as well.
Give me news and other one.
It is. But guys, that's some tips. There are some tips for me. So first, yes, you have to read the question. The question, but let's just focus on the option. The options. So usually, sorry, the answer will be given in order. Like let's say from the number 1, it will be A. Sometimes the number 2 will be B. Sometimes. Yes.
You will never know.
Sorry?
You'll never know.
Well, you'll never know. It is, or maybe it's something like this. Let's say there are 5 numbers for the question, and then you've already read the first question. There is the word colorful. Let's say. Now maybe for the second question, the answer is colorful. It could be something like that.
So it's all connected.
Yeah, it's connected. So
That's interesting. It's very interesting. Also, if you guys want a more practical way to practice, what you can do is there's a lot of previous papers from previous years. You can print that out and then pretend you're actually taking it and see how well you do.
yeah,
Especially for the reading exercises, right?
like sometimes they reuse it, but they change the word. Like maybe they change it.
So it's the same structure but different words.
Yeah, different
vocab.
word. It is just different vocab, and then it's really important for you to be able to skim the text as well, or maybe to scan the text as
For
well.
the important information, yeah.
For the important information. So instead of reading the whole page, like oh my god, it's super boring. So let's just try to find the main idea for each paragraph. Like so this is the main idea for each the first paragraph, and this is the main idea for the second paragraph. That's it.
How do we get to the main idea, if there's just so many things to be
Well, the entire structure of like say how something is written, right? You move on to the next paragraph and you move on to the next topic. So if you're testing your comprehension, and this is an article about, let's say about uniform or non-uniform, right? And the first paragraph could be talking about the positives, the pros of wearing uniform. And the question is, so what are the cons of wearing uniform? Why would you read the first paragraph? You move on to the next
You
paragraph.
gotta read the questions first.
Read the question first, then the text, yeah.
That's it.
And then find which part of the text is addressing that question.
Okay, thank you.
That saves you a lot of time, yeah.
So first, by reading the question and then finding the similarities of the questions, what does it ask? And see, this one asks.
Yeah.
And just cross
Yeah,
the options.
exactly.
Usually, how many questions are there in the test, in the written test?
Oh, for the written part, or which one?
The reading.
Oh, the reading part. Okay. So for the reading part, well, there will be 3 2-page passage, and then passage, yeah, the text, and then each text or each passage will have like 10 questions. So it means that you're gonna have
Around 30, 40
So you're saying it's hard?
in 1 hour only. That's why you really need to be able to scan the text instead of reading the whole page.
Come on, guys, let's be
passage.
confident. We're going to be.
It is.
We can do this.
Or maybe just read the question first and then try to scan the text. Like, let's say, what's the main idea for the paragraph 3? Let's just read the paragraph 3 then.
That's it.
How good is your comprehension? Are you good at reading text and answering questions based on the text that you've read?
There would be questions about asking about the author's tone, the bias. That's implicit, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to, whether we like it or not, we'll have to skim it.
Absolutely. Are you confident though, walking in with the reading?
I'm
now?
I don't know.
A little bit.
It's hard to tell, to be honest
But
with
not
you.
with the score. I'm confident on working it out.
Yeah,
But not with
but at the score.
Usually the questions about what?
The questions, well, it's a random thing. Sometimes they can talk about
Social issues like that?
Yes, sometimes they can
Social
talk about the
issues.
social issues. Sometimes they can talk about the science
I
things.
mean, that's the hardest part. Science, there are just so many vocabularies that
Yeah,
I am
we
not
haven't-
aware of.
Yes, it is. Well, when I was in high school, I was a science student actually, but I can't even understand. Oh my
Physics.
god, I can't even
Yeah,
understand the
social-
science text.
How about that social? We're going to learn the science thing.
Social people.
But let
You're meant to see.
me just add a quick some information there. The answer will be in the text.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to figure out any equations by yourself. It will be, the answers are there. You just have to find it. Okay. I promise you, the answers are there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's always a bit nice.
It
Take your
is.
word on it.
So,
Trust
do you
me.
guys want to ask a question?
Well, how about the questions? Jessica asking about the passage or mainly thing about. How about the question? What does the question usually ask about? Like the main idea
Okay.
or
Well, usually they will talk. They will ask us about the main idea, or maybe like the synonym or the antonym of the word.
Actually, hard to find.
Yes, it is. Or maybe they could give us like a sentence. Well,
Sentence.
those sentences are actually the meaning for some words in the text, and we have to find it. Like, what is it? It's kind of hard. Like we have to interpret it. We cannot simply just scan the passage or the text, but we also have to like understand the context of the text.
So that's why we look for context clues.
It is. That's why.
Do you mind if I ask you what's your score for your TOEFL?
Sure. For
why are you laughing, Mr. Dave?
No,
She's really good at English, guys, right?
for which one? The IBT one or the?
Oh, you took both.
Yeah, both of
Maybe
them.
both.
Both of
Spill
them.
both of them.
Okay. So for the IBT one, I took it like 3 years ago, as I remember, and I've got around 100ish.
Oh my goodness.
But my first try, I only got around like 60.
That's all. That's all.
That's 50%. That's
Yes.
you're halfway there.
Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. That's for the IBT, but for the ITB one, I got like 556, as I remember.
Wow, 56.
That's really high
That's
score.
556.
We have to
Yeah,
top
right?
that
Between
there.
Indonesia to 500.
Ah,
Not for us. Not for
I
us.
see. Yeah, that's it.
So how long did it take for you to prepare Kagya?
Oh my god. Well,
I mean, it's hard, right, to prepare all the materials. I mean, there are just so many sections for you to understand. So how long did it take?
well, actually, I've been preparing the TOEFL test since I was in a junior high school.
Oh.
I really so.
you're that ambitious.
yesterday even I sleep.
I could say that I am kind of ambitious with English, but
Right.
well, at that time, there was an English club like this, and then the teacher has like an English course, and then he offered me to try the TOEFL one, the IBT one. So I took it, and then that's my first time. That was my first time doing the TOEFL, and it was 60. My score was 60 at that
Well,
time.
as a middle school student, that's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
You should
First
take
try
pride
as
in
well.
that.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I have to.
If I may ask, how many try you? What is it called?
The
do
simulation.
The simulation, I think. Oh my god, I can't count it.
Let's say.
Oh, so
you
it's-
repeat like what, 10
there are
times?
just so many.
Is it 10 times or?
I think more than that.
More than
but
that.
that's for the practice. But for the test, I think for the IBT, it's like twice maybe or twice. But for the IBT, I took a lot of it because I was majoring in English educational program, so I have to take it regularly,
Every time.
like every year.
Every year.
How about you guys? Have you made any attempts in any mock TOEFLs?
Not too
I've
No,
done once,
no.
and then just on the whole play, I just like Alright, what's the tab?
I see.
I mean, I did IELTS once, and I got 6.
Whoa.
That's my first try. I got 6. Yeah, I take pride in that. But
Big flex,
for me,
big flex.
it was the hardest English test I've ever taken in my whole entire life. It
You
was.
got like 60, it's already.
But it was a nightmare. It was. I was traumatized, literally.
You did.
No, but they say that IELTS is harder than TOEFL.
It is.
Okay.
So it's even better
Pretty
than.
good.
Thank you.
And that's why I really suggest you guys to like to take the preparation class before you take the TOEFL class, because, well, I don't know if you know already the price for the TOEFL, but for the IB the TOEFL, it will cost you around like 3 million rupiah. 3 million rupiah.
That's a
So
lot of money.
it is. So you have to prepare.
When you're lucky,
first.
sir. You're really lucky. You don't need to take this test.
Lucky.
Be careful what you do.
Yes, it is. So, if it is possible for you, and because you still also have time to prepare yourself, it will be really good for you to take the preparation class. And the good things is, well, English Academy provide the TOEFL preparation class for the IBT one, not the ITP one, and the IBT one, the hardest one, and then it's online as well. So you don't have to, like to go back and forth to the place and to the center, and then if you are interested, go ahead. But if you think that I don't like the online class because it's boring, you could also go to the center. Yeah, we've already opened some centers.
Yeah, we have multiple branches spread across Indonesia, but I'm pretty sure you're only concerned about Jakarta, right?
Yeah.
We're living here.
We have one in Kebayoran, Tangerang, BSD.
You know, the place.
There will be Mr. Daniel.
SD.
I'll
make sure
BSD, Tangerang, and also Kebayoran. Yeah. I go around a lot. Yeah.
And if you want to move to Bekasi, the planet Bekasi. Really?
I'm living on the planet.
That's why it's a bit different.
So how do you get to school? By spaceship?
I use a spaceship, yeah.
I see, yeah, and I will be also stay. I will be also stay in the Bekasi Center. So if you want to meet me, maybe go ahead.
Oh, you'll be in Bekasi Center.
Yes,
Oh,
Bekasi.
nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Hot.
It's very hot.
No, it's actually normal. You look at my skin.
Oh.
Look at my skin as well. Yes.
I'm curious, though. Let me ask you guys a question. All right, let me throw it out there. So you guys obviously have a good foundation, right? What is your tips and tricks? How did you do it?
I honestly do not remember.
You don't remember?
on your free
Okay.
time.
So we know in his childhood, he did it in his childhood. Okay.
Always do it on your free time and be sure to enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're not gonna go anywhere with it.
You got the point.
Let me add that one. To enjoy things, you can do like, for example, me. I have the foundation because I play too much game.
Right.
Too much game.
Same thing.
Because, for example, I play like a game called Minecraft. The Minecraft is
Right.
very
popular.
Yeah, there's like a lot of server, and then you can meet a lot of people
From the community.
Yeah, from the community.
Yeah.
And then you just start like typing, how are you? And then slowly you try to learn. So this is how you pronounce. This is how you do this. And then like practice it on your free time.
Nice.
You practice it.
As long as you're not forced, as long as you're enjoying
That's what I
it.
Yeah, as long as
you're
you're
there.
It comes down to that, yeah.
Enjoy
Like you
using the
said.
media. So it's not
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
you're reading the text and then I'm trying to learn English things like this.
Yeah, I find
You
that-
play
No, that's
you play
very
with the
boring,
language.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, since time is up, thank you for sharing, you guys, and of course to our honorable honorable guests today. Thank you for joining us today. It has been such an amazing moment for all of us. We get to have so many insightful information regarding TOEFL, even about life and whatever. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you guys for also being here.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you. So that's all from us. May you guys have a good time watching this as much as we do doing it. So bye bye. Assalamualaikum.
Bye.